Hello, this is your Commodore, Ty Coles here, your commanding officer to everything in the pop culture world, specifically the nerdy stuff. So let's start with a Star Trek Picard review.
Engage.
This one is Season 1, Episode 6, The Impossible Box. Start off with Soji having nightmares. Narek realizes this and believes he can use this to his advantage.
Yeah, sorry. Weird dream. I keep having it.
It sounded like a nightmare.
But while we're on the ship, we see that Jurati is struggling with the guilt that she killed Maddox. And she ends up making love to Rios. Okay, that's interesting. You're dealing with the guilt of murder by having sex with someone. Oh, okay. But they're going towards the artifact, which is deep in Romulan space. And to board the artifact, they need approval.
If the Romulans don't recognize me the moment that I set foot off this ship, the Borg will. The Collective do not forget one of their own. The only safe way to access the cube is the Coat Millat way, by being perfectly open.
Raffi communicates with an old Starfleet friend of hers to get the credentials for Picard. Initially, her friend was hesitant to do it, but as soon as Raffi tells her, yeah, we're already headed there, she does it and gives Picard temporary credentials for that lasts about 24 hours.
Hours, in and out.
So this will allow Picard to beam over and meet with the director, who he knows, and we know, because it's Hugh. During this time, Picard is scared to death.
The Borg, they coolly assimilate entire civilizations, entire systems, in a matter of hours. They don't change. They metastasize.
And ain't worried as all hell to get back on a Borg ship, because what happened to Picard the last time he was on a Borg vessel.
Jean-Luc.
I love this shot of when he's looking through the information about the Borg. You see this image of Locutus, and they pan the camera just so his face and the computer display match perfectly. And he's feeling the side of his face and everything. Which shows that Picard has yet to recover from the Borg. So he beams over, and it looks like he's having a panic attack. It would have been a lot more convincing and powerful to an audience member feeling Picard's dread if he weren't constantly showed what's happening on the artifact. They got a bar. They're having fun. There's no sign of a Borg. You got XBs, which are X-Borg, so it kind of ruins the moment. If they never showed the artifact until this episode, we would feel the dread that Picard does. But because we knew what was happening on the artifact, we don't. It's poor writing. Hugh meets Picard, and they get to talking.
Welcome to the Borg Reclamation Project. I don't know what you're doing here, but I'll help you any way I can.
Narek, after talking with his hot, sexy sister, is trying to use her. Because unlike his sister wants to take over and just get it done and over with, where he's going the route of more like a Vulcan would take, displaying patience.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
Patience, sister. A quality you never had.
He takes her to this room to relive her nightmares, because she's freaking out because everything she owns is only 3 years old. Specifically 3 years, 1 month old.
Probable age, 37 months.
So this is probably the activation date for her and her sister. Picard goes into that room and he realizes it's begun. She's starting to remember.
I believe she's close to discovering who she really is.
Narek learns the stuff he needs from her, leaves the room, and tries to kill her.
2 red moons, dark as blood, and lightning, so much lightning.
Well done, little brother.
Her programming starts to kick in, and she busts right down through the floor. And they're all after her now. Picard and Hugh are looking for her to save her. Narek's looking for her to kill her. Luckily, Picard gets to them first. But there's a ton of Romulans on their way to come kill them.
Soji, let me help you.
Do you know what's happening to me?
I do. Let me explain.
Romulans, lots of them.
Hugh, can you get us out of here?
This way.
Come.
So they're running around through the ship. And they both realize they're in the Queen's room. Without ever stepping foot in it, they know exactly where it is because Picard still has some memories, some connection to the Borg. And they have this long-range transporter. When they've already had that technology, because if you watch Star Trek, when Spock travels to the Kelvin universe and changes the entire timeline, he gives Scotty the formula for long-distance transporting.
What's that?
Your equation for achieving transwarp beaming.
Out of it.
Continuity, people. They're about to beam, but there's the soldiers are coming. The security guards, the soldiers, whatever the hell you want to call them, are coming after them. Without knowing, Elnor beamed over to save Picard because of the pledge he made to save Picard, that he's binded his sword to his cause. Picard tries to release him from the pledge, but he's like, no, I can't do it.
Stay behind to cover your escape. My blade is pledged to defend you.
Then I release you of the pledge.
I decline to be released.
What are you doing?
Preparing to fight.
So they beam away, leaving Hugh and Elnor to fend off the swarm of Romulans that are coming to kill them. That's the episode. I preferred the previous episode a lot better. This one was kind of like drawn out. And also, because we saw all the stuff about the artifact fell flat. The only good part is seeing the collapse of Raffi. Like, seeing the devastation that her son shunning her has done to her. And the self-destruction of her life. I know people are going to say, well, that's not Star Trek. They've moved beyond that, blah, blah, blah. No. Losing a loved one, no matter which way it is, still devastates people, and they all handle it differently. And it's great that they show it. If they showed her just being fine the next day, there's something wrong. So there are some good things about this episode, but overall, fell flat because of the stuff they've done in the previous episodes. If this was the first time we met Soji, if this was the first time we knew about the saw the artifact and everything, it would have been a far superior impact to people. But because they keep jumping back and forth, it kind of fell flat. Because we knew that Narek was trying to get information off of her. We knew that his sister was on her way, pulling the strings of her brother. We knew Hugh was there. And we knew that it wasn't the threat that Picard thought it would be. So, on that aspect, this episode is a failure. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So, for your Commodore, Tide Coles, live long and prosper. Hailing frequencies closed.
Thank you
you for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch one of my other videos, and if you can show your support by donating to my PayPal.
So, for Commodore Ty, live long and prosper all, and for now, until next time, the Hailing frequencies are closed.